We haven't even met the guy. We didn't go to his boat, and he got pissed off. Now he's blaming us. And I'm like, how do you even blame us? Called you right away, sir. And
yeah, we're back at the Perry Marina. Going to go back to this catamaran that we're doing the alternator on the starboard engine. So we got all the parts finally. This storm that blew through the East Coast, well, not the East Coast, through the entire United States, I guess, has delayed all of the parts and deliveries. So we finally got our parts in, so I can get back on this one. I've got a alternator, bracket, adjustment system, and motor mount to change. Electrical wires from the alternator to the vessel got melted, so got to check all that out and get that all finished. See if the voltage regulator on the system is working. It's a different alternator than came on the boat with Volvo. It's a high output alternator, so it has a different voltage regulator. We'll have to check that after I get it running. We're down here to the boat, so get that checked out, change the alternator and engine mount, and see what happens. And looks like the cold snap is gone for a day or two. Nice sunny day out here, so let's get to it. All right, so down here on this catamaran on this little D240 engine, we got some things that we were doing. As you can see, the alternator is removed. We got to do all that, but the alternator, a bracket on the engine mount here. We found the engine mount as from before. It's pretty torn up or corroded badly. So we got a new one here, which is all fine and good, but when I get down into this thing, all these bolts that were in here, the heads are completely gone. So I got lucky and was able to get a 16 millimeter wrench on a 17 millimeter headed bolt. These bolts are pretty well done for this one. The top two here I'll leave installed because I don't want it loose and the engine falling down, but I believe I'm going to have to get at least 2 new bolts. It's not going to stop me. What I got to do is just work around it. I'll take those out. I'll put the new one on with the 2 that I've got. That'll hold it in place until I can get 2 new ones or 4 new ones. I'll change them all, but we'll change them one at a time. That'll make it easier. And then I have everything put in. So the guy's down underneath is scraping the bottom of the boat, cleaning the bottom of the boat. He's probably on the sail drive. That's why it's moving. I'll try not to bother him too much, and he'll try not to bother me, but we'll get it done. But this is going to be a challenge here. I've already broken 1 bolt here. That holds the bracket for the alternator bolt. This is the bottom bolt of the alternator. So we'll get it done, but it's just going to take some extra time on this one. All right, so we got the bracket in for the engine mount. This one we got... see here, there's spring washer, flat washer underneath. So got that right. Now this piece here, I've got to take it off the old one, but I have to drill out a screw in it. One of the bolts is frozen in. So, but I got a little bit of cleaning up to do and get that all put back together, and we'll be back in a little bit.
let's go see what the boys are working on this morning over here at the yacht club over on Stock Island. There's my buddy Greg Freeman's boat right there. That's the boat we took and went way to the west when we caught all those mutton snappers for my buddy Al's bachelor party.
Look at the potholes, huh?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, all right. Well, let's see what we got going on here. Here it is, Ken Horton.
How you doing with your rib?
Ribs are okay. Collarbone,
Takes a while to come back from that.
It does.
How'd you fall?
I was riding my four-wheeler up on the farm up in Wisconsin. Crashed into a tree. Yep, for sure. All right, Ruben. Good luck, buddy.
Oh, look at these. Got a couple tarpon pelicans. So I was walking by over here at the yacht club, and I had commented that these are some serious life jackets.
Yeah, so AJ and Peter's picking up some equipment. This is one of our clients. He said he was out in the channel, in the main shipping channel, and hit something, and well, it's not supposed to look like that. The whole skag is missing, and
You got some rocks up in here.
yeah, it's no good. Yeah, fishing line. Yeah,
lot of it.
Here, I'll show you what it's supposed to look like.
No, I only have this battery on.
Okay, he's only got the one battery on. That's what it's supposed to look like with that on.
Which AJ put those on.
I put those on a couple
Maybe-
months ago.
yeah,
and
that's what I was
you told
gonna say.
me to come over here and start looking at this lower. I'm like, what did you do this time?
Yeah, well, there you go. So, well, like I said, we got a new one. AJ and Peter will get this one off. We'll verify that that's all the correct stuff, make sure it's the right one, and make sure it didn't get damaged in shipping, and then we'll swap them out. I got to call Prop Doc and see if the prop's done being repaired, and yeah, we'll go from there.
There is a crucial part missing that now exposes all the internals, so we have to drop this lower, and we got a new one. We're gonna open this up and inspect it, make sure there's no damages. But one thing about Verados that's different from all the other outboards out there is that you need to drain the oil before you can drop the lower, which I can see why makes you want to service the boat more, especially when you're dropping the lower and you have to replace the water pump. Oh, now I have to also replace the oil filters. It just makes everything more uniform for service. But it's a pain when you just need to drop the lower and not do anything else. You need to drain the entire system, which is 10 quarts of oil. That's a lot. And just to drop the lower, replace it, and then we need to, top it back up with oil and do a new oil filter. So it's a lot just to change the lower on a Verado, but we're getting it done. All right, so here's our new lower with the part that we were missing and that we need. So I'm just kind of looking over it right now, giving it a once over. Prop shaft looks good. Looks good. The shift shaft looks good. Water pump housing looks good. Just making sure there's no dents, scratches, bends, anything of the sorts before we put it on and see something later after it's all bolted up. So, but it looks good. All right, so we're getting ready to take the lower off. I just wanted to show you the extent of the damage. So you can see that he actually shifted the whole barrel over. That's where the keyway used to sit. And now it's sitting over here. So whenever you hit it, it just shifted over. And they also ripped their entire skeg off. Cracked the housing on both sides. And just a big old hole on the bottom. Let me know in the comments what you think happens. What you think they hit to cause this kind of damage. Hey guys, this is the first time I've ever seen a skeg be completely ripped off of a lower unit like this. So, we got the new lower on. Peter's just torquing down the bolts now. Here's the old one. So, we're just going to put the prop on. We're going to check, although it says that it came with oil, I still want to check it just to make sure. After spending all this time putting one on, I don't want to have to take it back off because there's no oil in here. And then we're going to start it. We are getting ready to start it. Ready? Yes, sir. Forward! Reverse! Forward, one more time.
All right, we've got these injectors changed on this engine. Got her started up. Go down and check. And make sure there's no leaking at each one of the injectors that I changed. Got no leaks. No leaks on the fuel rail. It's good. My Vodia test running. Check my fuel pressures and performance. It's just an idle check just to make sure that I got the right fuel rail pressures and everything. Everything down here looks good. We'll go back up to the top and see what happens. All right, so what we got here, this is our Vodia machine. So we're looking at our different parameters here. This is the one I'm looking for. And of course, fuel temperature. Now this is going to change off and on, but everything seems to be operating correctly now. So I did learn something. Your trim coats, this particular EVC model does not use them. Yeah, you got to check on that. Some do, some don't. So I just learned that today. So it's a good day. I learned something. Yeah, everything so far looks good. I'll let her warm up a bit because here in Key West, we had a cold snap hit. We went down below 60 degrees. Make sure everything stays in the good range. Like I say, these are the ones I'm looking at and they seem to be good. So I'll watch it for a little bit, but we're going to call this job done. I just got to put the covers back on the engine and we're finished. All right, so I bumped up the throttle a little bit. Still no leaking. Everything's good here. My pressures are still good. Temperature is increasing, of course. That's natural. So we're good.
Somebody's here at work today.
Yeah, trying to get things straightened out a little bit. Not that things haven't been going smoothly, but just got to make sure
we have a garbage pile here.
Yeah, that's another thing I got to get taken care of. I always try to, all parts go in a box. We don't write on the box, we put tape on it. So if we need to return something, we can without tearing up the box, and we label it with the name. So that way we keep track of all the parts. So we have a parts shelf over there, but I haven't moved them over there yet, but that's how we keep things organized. Everything's labeled and kept in a box so that if you get little bits and pieces like this, and even though it's labeled, this will disappear. So we put everything in a box.
Hey, we got to hang up our sign here.
Yes, we do. I'm going to probably put it up there and send a picture to, oh, that sign. I was thinking the Volvo sign.
Yeah.
We got in trouble with Volvo when they came. We don't have a sign in here hung up. So we have some signs, big ones we need to hang up. We could put one up there. We could put one over there. But that was about it.
But we got the signs just after you got hurt.
Okay. Something we always do. We had all these parts in for this generator service we're going to do. We verify the parts. So I've got the belt. I've got the zinc. I got the impeller kit. I got the oil filter. I got the fuel filter. And I got the air cleaning element. So that's everything we needed. And somebody did label this, but they labeled it wrong. So when they opened the box, they cut the label. So I got to fix that. One of my favorite days, this scrap man is here so I can clear things out and get it cleaned up a little bit. He also gives me cash, which then we use to take the guys to breakfast and do whatever with it. This is a good day for me because I got a pocket full of money. Although my pocket does get raided by somebody.
Hey, that goes both ways, dude.
What is the Spanish word for windlass? That's what I was trying to tell him. There's a brand new windlass in there. We've had it for years. It came with the business. I was never able to sell it, so I guess my wife got tired of it laying around. She put it on the scrap pile.
Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah, like $4,000 or $5,000 worth.
Yeah.
You don't use it, get rid of it. Let's talk about how expensive boats are and how expensive planes are. Well, let me tell you this. We are on our way to the Cadillac dealer right now to pick up our pretty much new Cadillac. Hang on, the jets are flying around. Our Cadillac has 3,500 miles on it, 3500. Can't really believe it, but the torque converter and the transmission failed already. A little concerning and a little disappointing, to be honest with you. What was that? Steve Martin, John Candy. It's not just planes, trains, and automobiles. It's boats too. That would be a good idea for a remake on that. Just add boats into that movie, except John Candy's not with us anymore. Anyways, just because something's new doesn't mean it's good. So we've had our string of new boats lately, brand new boats, and it's been a struggle. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, talk about that guy last night.
This goes with what is wrong with people these days. So MarineMax calls us last night. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock. We like MarineMax. We do a lot of work for them. We try to help them out because there's no MarineMax down here. So they call us. We built that relationship over many years of working with them. They know and trust us. And they called us. And so, it's MarineMax. So I said, okay, I'm going to call the guy right away. So I call the guy right away. He's got a fuel leak. I guess brand new boats. Somebody put a screw into a fuel line, and the fuel line needed to be fixed. Well, I didn't have any mechanics at the time, so I told him we would be there first thing this morning. Well, this gentleman, we call him. We're there to help as best we can, and this guy is treating us terribly. He is texting, being nasty.
Says he'll never use us.
Yeah. I'm like,
we haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah, the guy is just being a jerk, and we haven't even met the guy. We didn't go to his boat, and he got pissed off about the whole situation, and now he's blaming us. And I'm like, how do you even blame us? Called you right away, sir. And anyways, I don't know. Again, what is wrong with people these days?
He won't have to worry. We will never go there.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm not going to tell you what the entry in my phone says with his name, but let's just put that he's on the divorced client list. I hope MarineMax calls us and he needs warranty work done on his brand new boat. And guess what? I'm not going to do it. Everybody just needs to relax and settle down a little bit. All right, so here's another sad story for you. We had a set of clients, and they came to Key West, broke down, and they called us. We said, no, we can't help you on your timeline. They were in a super hurry, a couple days. And we said, no, we can't help you. We can't do it. And they begged us and begged us. They called us back and begged us some more. And we jumped through hoops and changed our schedule up, changed some appointments, and we fit them in. And everything was going great. They took the boat and left. Some of the work that we did, which was software based, it all checked good here, and it checked good. They left. From what I understand, they got about 2 hours out and the system crashed. Let's say that. I said, okay, well, are you coming back? What are you doing? They're like, no, we're leaving. We're driving all the way across the Gulf. I was like, I don't think that's, wise with the situation. And they said they didn't have a choice. They paid their invoice without complaint.
Don't they say no good deed goes unpunished?
Yeah, they begged us and we told them no. And they still, it blows me away.
2 mechanics went there.
Yeah.
And then when we send one on a Saturday, they're adding more stuff for him to look at.
Yeah.
Which was not part of what we ever anticipated.
Right. We were not supposed to have other things added on.
No.
So, but they did. We fixed it. But then when the one thing stopped working, which wasn't our fault, it's the system, I said, you're going to have to come back. I mean, we can fix it, but you're going to have to come back. And they're like, oh, no, we're not coming back. I'm like, well, that's what I'm like, okay. Frustrating. Does not make me want to do this job. Makes me want to move to some remote area, 40 acres of land, away from people, and be by ourselves, away from people. But again, it's not fair to everybody else because we get a lot of great clients and we love them. If we do have problems with the good clients, we work it out. These people didn't even give us a chance to work it out. So,
well, you tried.
Yeah, I tried.
I mean, you called them right away when you found out they were having problems.
But that's a good point I want to make. This is really important. We see it all the time down here in Key West. People will leave a major city, Naples, Miami, St. Pete, whatever, Fort Lauderdale. They leave and they have problems with their boat, and then they get to Key West, and I don't know what they expect. But remember, this is an island. We have limited labor, limited parts. Our shipping is a nightmare, and it's getting worse all the time. Few major companies, you can pay for overnight shipping down here, or even early morning delivery, but it's not guaranteed. And I would say that, I don't know, what do you think? The success rate for overnight shipping is maybe 50%, if that.
Yeah, you can't depend on it.
Yeah, and then our clients are like, where's the parts? And I'm like, I don't even know. I got to try to find them. So I track them. And sometimes the tracking doesn't go through, and then sometimes it does, and it just says, we had a delay or it's en route. And then the clients are like, well, can I get paid back for overnight shipping? And I'm like, no, we can't get that money back. Believe me, I've tried. Even if you could, it's not worth it because you will spend a good portion of your life wasting away fighting with those companies. Anyways, that's the way it is down here. So if you're on a boat and you're coming down here, make sure your boat's in good shape.
Why did they leave where they were coming from, knowing that their radar didn't work? It wasn't.
They left their home port with it not working.
Exactly. They knew.
It's not safe.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was more than just the radar, which it's crazy. And if you are coming to Key West and you're broke down or you have systems on your boat that are compromised, call us ahead of time. Remember, parts. 9 times out of 10, the parts aren't going to be here. Give us some heads up so we can prepare if you need help. These shirts, friends of ours turned us on to them. Like I said, I'm not getting paid, but these are called Poncho, is a company. And I have fallen in love with those shirts. So I have 4 long sleeves, right? 4, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be ordering some short sleeves. How many of you guys have heard of Poncho shirts? Look them up online. They're extremely comfortable. This is actually a work shirt model that they have. It's kind of stretchy, which is really nice. Called Tough Thread right there. So some of the features are, we got a nice pocket right here, zipper pocket. So you got magnetic buttons on the pockets here. Oh, and then you're probably wondering, what is that for? Why would they put that on there? This is to wipe your glasses. The only problem with this is, because I'm left-handed, so I want it on this side. But I'll make do. Poncho, making left-handed shirts. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thumbs up, any of that. Share our videos. We appreciate it. It all helps us with our channel and helps keeps us going. And on the comments, we really appreciate your feedback. it really helps make the negative feel positive.